Hi, I'm Kat, and this is today's tarot. Looks like we're going through some stuff today. Doesn't surprise me. We are passing through the time of a new moon, which a lot of times people will consider full moons as a time that is like a big upheaval of emotion, but new moons can be that way too. And consider that during times of the moon is basically in conjunction or in near like angular proximity to the sun, which is why we can't see it, and it's a dark moon. And so there are things that are under the surface that can be hidden, and there are a lot of things that we can feel are unseen because there's darkness around them. But things do get revealed in that period of time, and it can be a good time to just sit in quiet. Now, the opening card that we have for today is the Three of Swords. This is a card of worry. And worry is something that is centered in the mind and in our thoughts and where we put our focus in our thoughts. And it could be likely a emotional matter or something that is stirring to the heart and is a little harsh in the heart. And so we have that opening energy today. There is some challenge that is, in the emotional realm that is being stirred up in our mind. It could also mean that there's some kind of communication that we need to have that we're concerned about, or something that basically is causing us some uneasiness in our emotional body, and it's related to something either that we're thinking about or that we need to talk about, or possibly something that's even hasn't been said. The challenge that we have for today is the Ten of Cups. Now, this is overall a positive card. It's the emotional, happily ever after, and reaching that kind of pinnacle of emotional satisfaction and attainment. But it showing up as a challenge could mean that we are experiencing some kind of illusions around love, or how we see the pinnacle of attainment of like emotional goals in our own life is changing and shifting and is challenging us in some way because it's getting in the way of us having an experience. And so this is a challenge that we're working with today. Now, the way we're going to get through the challenge is the Queen of Cups. Now, this is a card that's associated with Cancerian energy, which is a very nurturing, mothering energy. And so, it could be very useful for us, rather than to stir ourselves up in the mind and think about all the different directions it could be, or what ifs, or any of those concerns. I just saw a dragonfly. I've been wanting to see a dragonfly because I have so many mosquitoes around my house. I'm like, bring on the dragonflies. Sorry, aside from that, the Queen of Cups is telling us to take time to nurture ourselves and put our time toward nurturing the family, tending to self-care, and going inward, because Cancerian energy is an inward type energy. It's also an energy of active emotion. It's a cardinal water sign. And so it's asking us to, if you think about the energetic of a moving water, like a river, to move toward the energy that we feel called to move toward, and to follow that space and nurture that space. The overall outcome that we have for today is the Ace of Pentacles. And so there's some opportunity that is coming up through this. And so in a lot of ways, the storm that we could be kind of trapped in by the mind could be completely just an illusionary storm that keeps us from actually moving toward the direction that we feel called to go toward emotionally. And so the Tarot's advice for today is to take that opportunity and listen to your emotional body and what it feels called to move toward, and what would bring it peace and balance and nurturing, and move toward that direction, because it will ultimately bring you to a place that is of deeper value and brings you to a pathway where you have a new sense of value in your own belief systems around what is precious, which is ultimately time. So if our mind keeps us from it, then perhaps we need to ground ourselves in the earth, which is what Pentacles is all about. Anchor ourselves, get quiet, and realize that every day is truly an opportunity and will provide an opportunity for us to show up in a way that is transformative if we can just listen to it. So that is our tarot reading for today. Consider as well that the new moon just went through Cancer. And so the sun is also in Cancer. And right now, what is in opposition to that is Pluto. And so we do have this reflection around the transformation that we've been going through over the last couple of years, because Pluto has been sitting in Capricorn for the last few years. I'll remind everyone that in January of 2020, we had a stellium in Capricorn, which means that we had a grouping of a conjunction, or, a tight, it's like having all the planets in a tight angular space. Like if you had a room in your house, it would be like having 5 planets in that one room of your, of the 12 rooms of your house. And so there was a lot of energy in that space, and it has created a lot of upheaval in our social order and our monetary systems and how we do things as a society. And while all the other planets have moved on from that sign, Pluto continues to sit in that sign and create continuous transformation. And so the moon, which is our emotional nature, is reflecting on that transformation that we've gone through in the last couple of years, year and a half, and is looking at where we feel called to go, and what we feel is truly of value to put our time and our energy and our love and our heart toward. So we're going through it. I send you a good wish. If you'd like a reading from me, please reach out to rootsofalchemy@gmail.com. Please also check out my orbs and the gallery of orbs at my website, which is rootsofalchemy.com. And aside from that, I wish you well, and I will see you again soon. Much love. Mwah. Bye for now.